All right, guys, so for this question, I need to find the function, all right, that is represented here by the red curve. So how I'm going to do that? Well, first, I see that I have these zeros. So here's the first root, this is the second root, and this is the third root, okay? I also need to find their multiplicities. Well, in order to do that, I'm going to just use my chart. So here I have a straight line that passes through the root. Also here I have a straight line that passes through the root. And here I have a curve that looks like a parabola near this root. All right, so let's see. Using my chart, so if you have a straight line that passes through the root, that means the multiplicity is 1. If the curve looks like a parabola, that means the multiplicity is 2. And if you have this curve, that means the multiplicity is 3. Let's go back to our function. So this first 0, -1, has a multiplicity of 1, straight line. Same thing could be said here. And for this one, the curve around 5 looks like a parabola. So therefore, the multiplicity is 2. So my function could be read or written as x plus 1. Notice now this line passes through this point because it's a root times. So this 0 here is 1. So I'm going to put in here x minus 1. And the multiplicity is 1. And here 5. So I have a factor x minus 5. But the multiplicity is 2. Okay? And I'm going to just change the color here because the original curve is red and this one is red. So I'm going to just change it to blue. All right. Now we can see that the curves or the graphs don't overlap. What should I do? Remember the stretch and shrink factor? So I'm going to put in a there. And the calculator is going to ask me to create a slider. So here I'm creating the slider. And I'm going to just move the slider up and down, okay, or right and left. So I know now that the value of a is 0.2. Sometimes it is really hard to get an overlap, especially if the value of the stretch shrink factor is really small. So what you could do is, instead of using -10 and 10 as the bounds of a, here I could, for example, notice that when a is 0.3, you have the blue curve that passes below the red curve. When a is, let's say, 0.1, I know that the curve passes above the red curve. So the value of a should be between 0.3 and 0.1. So I could set the new bounds here. So I'm going to put in a is between 0.1 and 0.3. So you set the bounds of the slider. Now you can see here, it's much easier to find the value of the stretch shrink factor. And here it is. I get a equals 0.2. So therefore, my function is f of x equals 0.2 times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 5 squared.